Well, hello, class. It has certainly been a very interesting 7 weeks, and I truly enjoyed working with each and every one of you on mine. Um, it was an exhilarating experience for me to be able to work with a lot of you who are, working very, very interesting jobs, and also some of you that are even working out of the country. It was really important for me to understand your cultures, which is a very big component in organizational behavior. But I wanted to kind of give you a little reflection period and an overview of essentially what we were trying to accomplish in the past 7 weeks. For one thing, the reason why I really like this textbook is I think it gave a lot of perspective. Rather than using the chapter approach, it uses the section approach. And although it's six of one, half a dozen of the other, when you section things together, you can kind of get a holistic view of how maybe one topic, for example, conflict resolution, how does that interact with leadership or ethics and negotiations, that type of thing. So the way this entire course was designed was to, after giving you an introduction to organizational behavior, it was basically segmented into three distinct areas. And we looked at the individual first, then we looked at how the individuals interact when they come together in the organization. For example, how the departments come together. And those departments are now sharing one strategic plan or organizational mission statement. And once we went into individuals, we learned about their individual characteristics. Everyone is as different as DNA. So we have individuals who perceive things different ways, who learn things different ways, are motivated in different ways. All of these things are important. And especially when we talked about individual characteristics, we realized that people have core values and beliefs. And a lot of times these work positively for the organization, sometimes they're negative. Perception. Our values are all based on perception. What we believe to be true, what we see, what we hear through our senses, are basically the types of things that we hold as truths in the organization. A whole bunch of people bring all of their values together. We're creating what's referred to as an organizational culture. We looked at different types of leadership in the organization. What are the significance of leaders? How do they lead? Why do they lead? What different leadership styles do they have? We talked about motivation. A lot of times we don't know what motivates people, but we did study a lot about the behavioral theorists. We went into McGregor, McClellan, Maslow, and especially looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Individuals have needs, companies have needs. The needs of the company are basically their organizational mission and their strategic plan, their goals and objectives over a certain period of time. The needs of the individual, as Maslow put it, are physiological, safety, social needs, which are considered to be more or less lower order needs. And then we went into the higher order needs, which are ego needs. You treat your ego as, you feed your ego actually. We feel better about what we do because we know how we're contributing to the organization and making a difference. Conflicts Oh yeah, groups and teams. How important are groups and how important are teams? And what are the dynamics of those teams? How does information flow? Does it just flow from the top down, or does it flow from the bottom up? Do we have true synergy in the organization? How do we resolve conflict? How do we make decisions? All of these things were important in what we studied. So, there are more things in the book, such as diversity and communication, and goes really deep into culture. We talked a lot about culture. Pay attention to stress, change, and innovation in section 13. Although we didn't cover it, these are important things as well to look into. Corporate social responsibility, companies giving back to the organization, and ethics and sustainability. What type of ethics do our leaders have? How do customers perceive us? How do we perceive them? So I think that the case study approach was very helpful in getting a feel of how different cases that were cited in the book basically relate to a lot of us in the workplace, and individual assignments and participative discussions, bouncing ideas off of one another, and analyzing things in different ways. It was refreshing to get all your different perspectives. So again, take this time to go back, do the assignments for this week, go through the videos, try to catch up on things you didn't do the 2 assignments for this week, and that'll be it. Your grade should be out shortly after the end of this week, and always feel free to reach out to me anytime, even after a class ends. If I can be helpful to you in any way, let me know. And again, it was a pleasure working with all of you, and the best of luck. Professor DeChico, signing off.